Ohayo gozaimasu, minasan. Today's prompt is cursed toes. So if you know you have a fetish for underage kids, you are a pedophile. But if you have fetish for toes and like foot in general, I don't know why you would, but rejoice. There's actually a name. It's called podophilia. It's not pedo, but like podo. But it's really weird because when you get your nails done, it's a pedicure and not a podocure. So yes, I'm a little bit like, So they say that foot fetishes or podophilia accounted for almost 50% of the preferences of this group. Feet are considered the most fetish-sized body part besides genital body parts, which is highly disturbing, and that's why it made it into the prompt list. Let's take a look. Today we actually have Rachel joining us. So 3 writers, Dane, Droopy, our regulars, and a new participant, which is Rachel. All of them are now writing about cursed toes. I don't really know what they are going to, what went through their mind when they first got the prompt title, like cursed toes. And so let's just take a peek into their mindscape. Pretty disturbing, some of them. Rachel's entry. Ribbons and bows, what did she know of those? They were something that beautified and were adorned, and yet even with those she would be forever scorned. She lost her parents and she already mourned, and so it was a person to love her that she yearned. But when all they cried out was for her to be burnt, she would end up as a lady to be spurned. And so she made a curse. She cast a spell of never-ending thirst. Each moment, day and night, they'll dance and prance. A spell that cuts smoother than any lance. Prance or lance? Prance? Am I not doing this right? Like, it looks right, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't sound right. Prance. Yeah. Dance and prance. Is it lance that I got wrong? Let me check. Lance. Yes, I got lance wrong. Okay, so that's correct. Dance and prance, a spell that cuts smoother than any lance. All of them fell into that glorious trance. Before they knew it, their toes would literally burst. Blood, nails, and other things much worse. And yet, that was all just part of the curse. Okay, while I will not comment on the rhymes, because this is like a modern day poem, like contemporary rhyme. Okay, it doesn't have to have like any rhythm or sense or stanza as much like Droopy's case. So you can see this thing is called a stanza, so 4 lines per stanza, and then she has like these similar line rhymes, or it can be like an alternate line rhymes that she previously did. Rachel's poem is a little bit more modern day, but again, like what I tell Sakushi, you need to make sure that these syllables are somewhat, there has to be a flow, there has to be a pattern. So there is no real syllable flow, there's no real syllable pattern, but the story is okay, and some of this can actually be shortened, like the choice of words used in here, not the best, in like the between parts. A lot of them are considered redundant. That's what I want to say. So, but first attempt, I'll give it like a beginner's discount, I guess, first attempt. Because I don't think a lot of writers here actually specifically specialize in poetry or any of those sort. Then this is a creative prompt, so she was a little bit thrilled. She was like, oh my god, I can do anything, it doesn't have to be a short story. I was like, yeah. So she tried, which is great. Cookie for you. So this qualifies for cursed toes. Right, it's a vengeance. It's similar to, what was that, the 12 Dancing Princesses or something like that. Yeah, I'm reminded of that. Or like the one with the red shoes, whereby they stole the red shoes and then they can never stop dancing. Yeah, it's similar to that. So I got the vibes. It's correct. Now let's take a look at Droopy's. So Droopy's entry over here is 4 stanza poem with just couplets, I guess. It's a couplet line kind of thing. Is rhyming couplets. Alright, so we start. No one gets as loud as steel-toed Joe, whom every night gets a strange foe, claimed cursed by the fae on his farm to always be in the way of harm. Okay. No one walks as hard as steel-toed Joe. Every step sounds like a thunderclap show. His soles always flat on the ground. His feet weigh 1,000 pounds. Okay, good. But no one cries in pain like steel-toed Joe. At nights when he accidentally bares his toes. At nights. Okay, here I have questions. They would cackle and crack at every hit, proving that his curse was not a myth. Okay, this part here not so. Yeah, it may be hard, not very flowy. No one knows it aside from Steel-Toed Joe, the true events that started with an arrow. No one knows it aside from Steel-Toed Joe, the true events that started with an arrow. Extra by 1, but that's fine. Perhaps he was indeed cursed by the Fae to bang his feet against wood all day. Okay, in here it's I'll say 95%. 95% I get the gist there, but it can be improved a little bit more. Like, it takes a little bit more time to polish it. I understand, short of time, and she was writing with me yesterday. Like, she was on fire and I was just crawling in sprint. So yes, please sprint with us, guys. Those who are on YouTube and found this channel by accident, please come to our Discord and sprint with us. So I think Steel-Toed Joe is a very good caption for it. Steel-Toed Joe reminds me something like it's like the what? I can't remember now. For some reason, it reminds me of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, Steel-Toed Joe, Gaston. Okay, they always put this caption before the name to give you like the character thing. So you're wondering like steel-toed, and then it comes with the story of the curse and whatever not. And was like, okay, it's good. Okay, as usual, Droopy is good. So nothing more to say. It qualifies, definitely qualifies. And then I'm very afraid every time I go through Dame Butterfly stuff, because it's either it would be something that's readable or it would be like a train wreck. Most, like half the other time that I read this, it's a train wreck. It depends like on her condition, like her lifestyle condition, her state of mind and everything. Okay, let's cross our hearts. Okay, darling, I hope you understand you were my favorite. No one can know about my secrets. Roger pressed one last kiss to the woman's forehead before tossing the decapitated head into the hole with the rest of the bodies. He ought to miss her, but it was a necessary evil, as was cleaning up after himself. Once finished, Roger wiped the sweat off his brow. Now he could get clean and enjoy some wine. Before a beautiful quiet weekend, he could focus on finding someone new another day. Okay, I'm seeing like a pattern over here. Right, I don't know about Rachel because she just joined, but Droopy has like this pattern of liking misery in a packaged box, like everything points towards death or something like that. So it's very witchery over there. And then Dame Butterfly over here, it kind of gives a lot of these, I don't know, yandere vibes. It kind of gives like the yandere vibes, like the oh no you don't, a little bit bitchy if you can tell. Yeah, that's what I'm getting the vibes of. Like, not the first time she tried to include some sort of like affectionate gesture in here, but the affection is so twisted. That's what I get from Dame Butterfly's entries. Like, all the entries that I see, you can see like this is a recurring pattern. Like, I'm beginning to see this a lot. I'm just very interested. Like, oh, does this reflect your personal lives and your inner worlds? Probably. Right, and then this is like a line break. Okay, I understand. Okay, in here I need to really say that we don't want to have like a 1-2 conversation, you know? I know you're trying to push across a plot, but the 1-2 conversation writing style, I told you before, it's not the best. So even though you are short of words, you can choose certain lines to speak in direct and certain lines to paraphrase into writing. That actually evens out the pacing and the odds and pulls it along, rather than the old one to you as well. I never knew. Good to meet you. I'm sure you get to meet more with time. Can't lie though, it's a bit warm down here. Muffled voice, costume, whatever. And then after Diana go back to sleep, he thinks you are here with a job. He came awake and then his heart racing, and then this is not like, okay, by the way, it's like the you as well. Good to meet you. Yes, I'm sure you get a okay, but like whenever you have a direct speech, you're trying to show something, like a scene. You're trying to set the scene. You're trying to set the voice. Those lines can be and should be iconic. If it's things like a small talk, I would suggest rewriting it. So instead of all these lines over here, you can just say voices murmured in the background of his sleep, and then Roger stirred with a grumble, blah blah blah. Okay, this kind of thing over here would be better than writing this. This is redundant. It doesn't serve a point. When you write a direct speech, know that it is cinematic. It has to be an iconic line. It is to show. For example, in 魔道祖师, okay, 蓝湛, the male lead over there, 蓝忘机, he doesn't speak at all. But when he does, every single line is iconic. For example, the one time he spoke towards the end of the novel, rather than making sounds of acknowledgement like instead of that he spoke, and then he rejected the request. He's like 不可以, no, 天天就是天天. Everybody knows that line. It is so iconic. Every day means every day. It became a meme. So this is the kind of impact you want to get if you are writing a direct speech. This will not be an iconic line. So I would suggest to remove it, rewrite it, paraphrase it into a third person to summarize the gist of the conversations. Because you want to set the scene. You don't want to bore people. This is dragging out the pace. It doesn't add value towards the content here. Right? So he thinks you're still here with the job. Roger sat up in bed, wide awake and heart racing. Shit, he'd been so tired, he forgot to kill her. He forgot to kill her. Yes, this is the kind of thing we wanted. Who did the muffled voice belong to? So this over here is like he thought it was speaking to, I don't know, his wife or something like that, and then he forgot to kill her. So now, this is the true horror that sets in. But before that, you gotta, like, you know, make this a huge contrast to this. How do you know if something is hot? Go to some place that's very cold. The moment you step out, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, you want that. So in order to make this pop out, you have to make sure that this sounds very, how do I say, like a very cozy, very normal, very routine, a very routine and homey kind of thing that you didn't see it coming, and then you're like, oh fuck. You want that kind of contrast because you already set this thing up here, but you didn't really specify what this is. So here you could drop a little bit more hints to develop a better contrast for this main plot twist. Get what I mean? If you don't, it's okay. Come find me on the Discord server. Alright, let's continue. The thick darkness blanketing the room provided no answers. It only took a moment for the muted conversation to continue from under the covers. Okay, in this case, it's too straightforward. What I'll say is zoom in slowly from a camera. Whenever you write, your point of view shifts. You have to think of yourself as a movie director moving from one point to another point. So it's like the conversation, and then first he might think, oh, is this in my head? Am I hearing the voices of a vengeful ghost? He realizes that she's not there, and she's like, I killed her. Yes, I killed her. And then the voices start happening, and then he was like, no, if I ignore this, it will go away. And then the woman was like, I know you can hear me. Oh, that is the part whereby it sits in reality. Sing. He's like, oh my god, this is real. And then he starts finding the voice, and then he's like, where is this fucking, and then he pulls off his cover or something like that, and the reveal comes in whereby his toes was something else. You know, that kind of development would be much better than this one. Like, personal opinion, what I like to see and what normally makes sense in Hollywood movies, because it's predictable. Dame Butterfly hardly writes anything out of those things that she consumes, like common media. It's very mainstream-like. She likes to write things that are very mainstream-like. So if you want to write mainstream-like and gold tier, that's how it's done. Right, that couldn't be right. Still, Roger took the flashlight next to his bed, gave a cautious peek under the covers, which is obviously, it's too obvious, it's too convenient. I don't think he realized you were a witch. Okay, this part here, okay, but doesn't really quite make sense. Realizing the light was upon them, all Roger's toes turned to look at him in what should have been a physically impossible move. He's on his left big toe, a face with likeliness of his dead wife stared back at him. Diana took his big right, and the rest held less familiar faces of previous victims. Nor did he know about your curse. that he would never be able to get rid of us again. And then there's a missing punctuation at the end over here. So like I said, this is not like the best reveal. You need to really plot. If you want to give a big surprise, if you want to really wow a person, if you really want to impress people whereby they didn't see it coming, but obviously not me because I see many things coming, right? You have to build it up bit by bit in a puzzle. You have to really take it out of context and then bring it in an angle of a blind spot, audience blind spot, coming from the audience blind spot. But how do you make the audience blind spot? You need to create it first. That is good writing. Okay, so that's all from me today. I have 3 entries. Oh wait, I have to update this. Did I not? Okay, that was mine. Okay, so 221. Let me just update this. If not, I will forget it again. Two. This is 1. This is 2. Rachel is 2. Alright, so that's all from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you again tomorrow for Raid Bath Water. And the day after tomorrow would be Beach Witch. So free interpretation. I'm not gonna specify the bitch and I'm not gonna specify the witch. It's you guys supposed to impress me. Alright, that's all. Bye bye.